City council heard from city employee after city employee for hours yesterday. It was a long meeting. Ultimately voted 3-3, deadlock, on a proposal to raise police and fire pay 13%. Your initial reaction to that tie vote, was it a gut punch to you?
No, it was not. I watched it in its entirety, and my heart goes out to all the city workers because we all work as a team, and what everyone does is very important to our city. And my heart goes out to them and their concerns. Their concerns are just like the police and firemen's concern about a better quality of life for themselves. So I sympathize with them. My heart goes out to them, and I am not surprised that things turned out the way that they did. But because of this, it built hope for not only myself but for the other city employees that better days will be ahead for not only just fire and police, but everyone who provides an excellent quality service for this city.
13% pay increase for your police officers. Would that have been a game changer in the recruiting world to get more officers here?
Absolutely, it would. It would have brought us not quite to the regional average, but a closer margin that I think it would have created an atmosphere where some of the ones that we're losing would give it a second thought and change their mind, and we'd be able to attract other candidates also.
You probably watch social media a little bit. Maybe you try not to, but your officers are upset today.
Sure.
They're mad. They're angry.
Sure.
They feel like the voters love us. They voted for us this weekend, and now our city leaders kick us in the teeth. What do you say to your officers today who saw that council meeting yesterday and saw that vote and thought, holy cow, what do we have to do?
Well, I say to them, be hopeful. Brighter days will be ahead for us all. You know, from my level, I try to look at a larger picture, and it's just not only fire and police that service this city. It is so many others that are not in the limelight like us that provide an essential service for our citizens, and they are important also.
What would you like to see happen now, and how quickly?
Well, I'm hopeful that at some point or another, I don't believe that this issue is going away, that it's going to die. I firmly believe that at some point or another, this issue is going to make it back to the table for more debate, more research to find other funding sources that can assist everyone throughout the city.
Chief, it seemed like the big discussion last night was two things. I think it was one thing. They talked about everybody has to get something or nobody gets something. That seemed to be one philosophy. And then they had a lot of conversation about what you just said, the money. Where's the money going to come from? It seemed like to me it was more about everyone's going to get the same thing. And so as the police chief, how are you going to deal with all the city employees are going to have to get a raise? It might not be 10, 13% that you need to recruit. It might end up being 5% that we can afford. I don't even know the question there, but are you better? How do you get what you need if it's going to have to go to every city employee?
Well, we have to work as best we can with what we've got to work with. And I value all of our city employees, just not fire and police, but all of them who are out there day in and day out providing an essential service for the citizen. And we will work as best we can with what we've got to work with.
And I understand that, but would a 5% help you much? Or, I mean, I've seen the numbers. I think we're going to have to get fire and police up to 10, 15% in order to be competitive. And I have compassion for all employees as well. But
yes,
if the budget won't hold that, I mean, what other things can you do with the recruiting side? Because I think we're down to money, and I think Councilman Grayson Butcher said this and others.
Yes.
I think Michael Carter came.
Yes,
the
he
union
did.
guy came and spoke very well. You know, at a certain point, we've got to pay fire and police. And so how do we find the money in the budget?
That's a very good question. The money stream will have to come from some source or another. And in addition to that, we may be able to offset some of that with looking at other benefits that might equate to money, but not necessarily equate to money in hand that would ease the burden, of life.
Total package when you're
The total
recruiting.
package, that's
Okay.
exactly right. Because I understand, for instance, some agencies takes care of 100% of your insurance. Now, if the city of Shreveport took care of my insurance, that would be an additional couple of $100 a paycheck that would be coming back to me if things like that could be worked out. And we got to keep in mind also that as we get closer to that regional average, other agencies are probably going to drift higher than that also.
It's a revolving door. Just as soon as you raise pay, somebody else raises pay.
Yes, yes. Just here yesterday, I got a letter of resignation and sat down and visited with a near 13-year veteran who is resigning to go to another local agency here within our Arclatech for just a few more dollars a paycheck. But in going there, the officer won't have to be working all of the extra mandatory write-outs and overtime, just be working from 8 to 4:30 and off on weekend. The demand that we're having to place on our officers in the absence of having a full complement of officers is beginning to wear on them pretty good.
Got